Here we are. Okay, live on Facebook, live on Instagram, and I'm trying to let's do this. Okay, there we go. Okay, so let's put the topic here on Instagram. Oops. Live on Facebook, live on Instagram. Let me go ahead and put the topic up. Okay, so today's topic is okay. I'm gonna flip the camera because I hate when it's like in my face when I'm trying to talk. Wait, I won't let me. Hold on. Why won't it let me flip the camera? Anyway, okay. Topic today is how to know if you're dating or just dealing with this guy. Will you actually get the love you desire from him? Okay. Typing that out. Actually, shoot, I need to okay. Did I spell everything right? How to know if you're dating or just dealing with this guy? Will you actually get the love you desire from him? So, what up, Facebook and Instagram? If you are watching this, can you please let me know if you can hear me, especially on Facebook, because I'm new to still using this mic and I need to make sure you can hear me. My greatest fear is to be talking and you can't hear me. So, if you can hear me, just type it in the comments. Okay. Okay. And gonna do I want it to be big. Okay. All right. Welcome to my platform. My name is Rika, and I'm an NLP certified life coach. I have so many certifications in this area of loving yourself. I don't call myself a dating coach. I actually call myself a self love coach and a boundaries coach. And today's topic, we're going to talk about some of them boundaries and how to love on yourself. So, again, I just want to make sure you can hear me. This mic, this is the second time I'm using this mic, and I just want to make sure I set it up right. So if you're watching, especially on Facebook, please type I can hear you in the comments. That would really greatly help me out. Now, before we get started, because this is the topic, and as I'm waiting for you to do that, I'm just going to check something real quick. Let me do this. What's up, YouTube and Twitter as well? Am I frozen? Uh-oh. My computer is freaking out on me and I may be frozen on Facebook. I don't think that I'm frozen on Instagram. Actually, I know I'm not because I can see myself. But I may have to end the broadcast on Facebook. Okay. We're just going to do this over. So I'm going to end this as well. Delete video. Okay. Okay, so I'm just going to wait for my computer. Okay, I think I'm back. I think. I literally don't know what happened there. That was very weird. So actually, I am going to pull up what I had up. My computer literally just shut down and came back. So let's try this again. Can you hear me? Type I can hear you in the comments. I believe I'm live on Facebook now. My computer literally just crashed And we just gonna roll with the punches because that's what happens, right? Good old technology. And okay, I'm just gonna end this real quick. Okay, you can hear me. What is going on? My computer is having a freak out. Okay. I I don't know. We just gonna roll with it. What's up, Brooklyn? Hey, Facebook user. I see you saying I can hear me, or you can hear me. Okay, I'm trying to let my computer load back the windows that I had up so I can share what we were going to talk about today. And today's topics. Thanks for sticking with me. Thank you for sticking with me. Okay, so today's topic. Actually, let me go ahead and edit this. My goodness. And you know what? It's so funny because I even restarted my computer today because I was like, I'm about to be live. I got to make sure I'm ready to go. And then, of course, here we go with technology. So, okay, we ready. Perfect. Today's topic, how to know if you're dating or just dealing with this guy. And I'm going to go ahead and type this on because I'm live on Instagram as well. So, topic. Thank you guys for letting me know you can hear me. I got a new mic. How to know if you're dating or just dealing with this guy. Will you get the love you desire from him? I always have to like speak out what I'm typing just to make sure I spell everything right. Is anybody else like that? Raise your hand if you're like that. Okay. How to know if you're dating or just dealing with this guy. Will you get the love you desire from him? All right, let me go ahead and start all over. My name is Rika. Welcome to my platform, whether you're watching on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, or Instagram. I'm an NLP certified life coach, which means I have a lot of certifications in the area of self love, relationships, relationship with self. And boundaries. I'm not a dating coach. I am a self love and boundaries coach. I just wanted to put that out there. And today we are actually going to be talking about this topic right here: how to know if you are dating him or dealing with this guy, right? I talk to a lot of women who feel like, yo, I'm just dealing with him because I'm trying to make it work, because you feel like I have to be in a relationship. That's what people do. And so here I am trying to make it work with this guy. And so we're going to be going over that so you can understand, are you actually dating him or just dealing with this guy? And then how to know if you're going to get the love you want out of this guy. So if you are watching and you have time, you might want to grab a pen and a piece of paper, because I'm going to be giving you hopefully a lot of, let's say I'm going to be dropping a lot of gems and you might want to write them down. Okay. So with that, you got the topic: how to know if you're actually dating or just dealing with this guy, how to know if you're going to get the love you want out of this guy. Okay. So let's go ahead and move on to the next one. Here's how to know if you're dating or dealing. You found yourself dealing with the same issues, that have to do with the same man that made you become less than your best self. Raise your hand if that resonates with you. You're in this relationship and you are becoming less and less and less of your best self. Is that you? You're dealing with the same issues in this relationship with this guy, or maybe it's a few guys. If you count your last 3 relationships, is it the same kind of cycle, the same tradition? Your relationships are doing the same thing. Okay. All right. Point number 2: you've been dealing or fighting the same problems with the same man. Or again, you look back on your last 3 relationships and this is happening to you. You keep getting in these, I would call them dysfunctional relationships. Maybe you wouldn't call it that, but we're going to talk about that coming up in today's masterclass, which is going to be about 45 minutes today. Okay. All right. Number 3, you're constantly feeling stupid and don't even trust yourself anymore, because how many times, I got to say this like 50 times. How many times have you written off guys only to take him back? Raise your hand if that's, I already see Facebook user, you're raising your hand. Here's the deal about Facebook. If you're watching me on Facebook, I cannot actually see your name unless you give me permission. So at the top of this video, at the bottom of the description, it'll say, give Rika, she's broadcasting live on StreamYard, give her permission to see your name. So if you want me to see your name, you're going to have to give me the permission to do that. Okay. Otherwise, I can call you Facebook user, which is totally fine. I just wanted you to know if I'm calling you Facebook user, that's why I'm not being rude. Okay. All right. So all three of these, does this resonate with you? Or at least one of them? Because if they do resonate with you, then guess what? Unfortunately, then you're just dealing with this man. This ain't a real relationship. This is a toxic relationship where you're constantly minimizing yourself, constantly doubting yourself. Okay. And listen here, I'm going to tell you right here in this moment, it's not your fault, because I want you to think about this question. How would you answer this if I asked you, who had a conversation with you about what makes a healthy relationship versus an unhealthy relationship? Who sat you down and was like, okay, so this is the healthy hard in relationships, and then the rest is abusive. The rest is toxic. Who let you know that, yeah, he may not be hitting you, but he may be emotionally abusing you. You may be having a trauma bond. You may be codependent. Who sat you down and had that conversation? Type "not me" in the comments. And maybe somebody did. Lucky you. And if they did, type "they did with me." Okay. So if that resonated with you, then you are in the right masterclass today. So welcome to this masterclass, Dodging Dysfunctional Relationships. Okay. Because this is you. I know you. And I want you to hear this from my heart, because I've been here. I have been here, and I'm going to tell you some stories coming up about how I lost my mind from the years 2015 to 2017 when I was in an emotionally abusive relationship. I've even had a guy take $10,000 away from me because I was so in love, and I thought that's what we were supposed to do. Okay? So this is not coming from a space of judgment. This is coming from my calling now and my purpose. Ever since I got out of that relationship in 2017, I heard God say, I will use your story, daughter. In the book, The Purpose Driven Life, Pastor Rick Warren writes, your greatest shame will be the thing that heals others. This is my greatest shame. The trash, toxic, dysfunctional relationships I had in the name of love. So now that I'm healed, I got my certifications, I've studied. I'm almost accredited in psychology. I just got to finish my class. Now I'm here to teach you. So this is what I do. Men don't have to lie to you to be with you. If you like him enough, you'll lie to yourself, right? I told you today, I'm going to give you some hard truths. And if I didn't, my bad. I'm just letting you know today, in this next 30 minutes, 35 minutes, I'm going to give you some hard truths. Krishna, I see you said nobody. I hope you're still watching, because this masterclass then for you is for you, this conversation. Men don't have to lie to you to be with you. If you like him enough, you'll lie to yourself. Yeah. That hurt. If this hurt, and maybe it slapped you in the face right now, say that hurt. That hurt. Type it in the comments. That hurt. Or so true. Okay. So now that we've established that you are actually not dating a guy, you're actually dealing with him. Let's get more into this masterclass, okay? We're going to go over 3 tips to help you spot a liar. Because again, I just said men don't have to lie to you. You'll just lie to yourself. So I'm going to help you stop lying to yourself. 3 reasons why you fall for the lies and liars. And we already just talked about one. Nobody had a conversation with you about what makes a healthy relationship versus unhealthy. And then I'm going to share with you my secrets, my 4 pillars that will keep you out of a dysfunctional relationship, that will help you discover your worth, that will help you live a life of singleness that is fulfilled. Because what I hope that you understand at the end of this masterclass is this. I want this to pierce your heart, that you are worthy regardless of your relationship status, period. I know society done told you that you being a single woman is trash and you didn't make the goal in life, but that's a lie, straight from the pit of hell. And we're going to talk about why coming up, okay? So, Krishna, I'm so glad you're still watching. Let me know if I'm saying your name right, okay? So plus you're going to hear real life examples of women who have discovered their works thanks to my 4 pillars. These are my former clients and graduates of Single You Academy. And then at the end, I will tell you exactly what Single You Academy is. But here's a testimony from one of my clients. She says, I'm learning that many things that were said to me and what I believed about myself aren't true. I'm working through a lot of shame. And in these last couple of weeks, working with you, and she means me. Hi, I'm Rika. I feel like I've grown so much in my personal growth. My friends offer moral support, which is excellent, but they don't have the experience you do to tell me what I need to do. They don't give me steps, and you do, Rika. That is a graduate of Single You Academy. And again, she followed my 4 pillars, my 4 steps to understanding your worth. And so that's what I do. I help the professional, frustrated, loyal woman who is tired of giving second chances. In fact, you're on chance 72 with this same guy, aren't you? And he never changes. You are sick and tired and frustrated of giving those second chances. You are sick of trusting that he will change. So I help you. If that resonates with you, I help you learn how to set and keep a boundary. Because remember, a few minutes ago, I asked you, how many times have you written off guys only to take them back? How many times have you tried to set a boundary, but then you couldn't keep it? You know what you want. You just don't know how to get it. You set a boundary with him, and then you let him walk all over you. You adapt to his needs. You're constantly navigating drama, walking on eggshells, constantly minimizing yourself for him. Trusting he will change because why? He said he would. Well, he said he loves me. He said he's going to try. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. The best apology is changed behavior. And how many times has he actually changed his behavior for you? So why do you keep giving that chance? As my client said here, she said, a lot of the things that were said to me and what I believed about myself, I would argue that is why you keep giving him chance 52. And then we're on to 53 and 54. Because the programming that you received growing up about dating and about being a single woman in this society is all wrong. And I'm going to help you shift that thinking today. So my tips for you, again, turn off your cell phone unless you're watching on your cell phone, but maybe put it on silent. Close all the tabs on your computer right now. Grab a notebook and interact with me. If something is resonating with you, I want to hear from you. Okay? Pay attention so you can retain this stuff. Again, I'm trying to school you on how to dodge these dysfunctional relationships because, again, if I asked you, baby girl, what you want? You want a healthy relationship or a toxic one? What would you say? Of course, you would say healthy, right? You just don't know how to get it. Stick with me. As Mufasa, not Mufasa, but Scar says in The Lion King, stick with me and you'll never go hungry again. Shout out to my millennials where Lion King is our favorite movie of all time. Okay. All right. I'm going to ask you these 3 questions. And by the way, on Instagram, I do have slides on my Facebook screen. So if you want to go to my Facebook page so you can see the slides, you are welcome to do that. It's facebook.com/singleu academy. And I should pop right up and boom, you can see the slides. I will be reading them to you. So that's an option as well. Okay. So anyway, would you say this? There is a lot of confusion in your A, relationships, B, dating, C, single life, or D, all of the above. There is a lot of confusion in your relationships. That's A. B, your dating life. C, your single life. D, all of the above. Type A, B, C, or D in the comments. I want to know if this is resonating with you. And as I wait for some of your responses, which, by the way, don't laugh at me because I do like sparkling water, especially when I'm speaking. Every time I go speak somewhere, whether it be at a church, a school, or whatever, I bring this because they don't ever have it for me. Because water, my mouth gets dry when I'm talking so much, especially talking for an hour, and water don't really do it for me. So I got to do that. Mm-hmm. So, okay. A, B, C, or D, type that in the comments and we will move on. Okay, so I've asked you this before. How many times have you written off guys only to find yourself in the same type of dysfunctional relationship? I'm sick of guys. I ain't never going back to him. He sucks. I'm an independent woman. I'm worthy. I'm this. And then you take him back 2 weeks later. 1 time, 2 times. Maybe it's 1 guy. What guy, when I'm talking to you, is coming up in your head right now? What guy? Miss Mookie, thank you. And hopefully you'll watch all the way through. I'm going to end this by 5 o'clock Seattle time. I'm in Washington State. So if you're on the East Coast, I believe it's 7:30 New York time, almost 7:30. So I hope you stick around. I hope you have a notebook. But when I'm, excuse me. So when I say that, how many times have you written off guys? Is it one guy or a few guys? If you would like to share, no judgment. For me, it was two. And that's my dog almost throwing up. Okay. You can type one guy or it's been the last three guys in the chat if you want to. Okay. All right. And again, no judgment. Okay. So I know why you do this. Okay. I know why you write the guys off. You're in this cycle of dysfunction. You're constantly minimizing yourself in this relationship. You're constantly adapting to him. You're never getting the love you actually want out of this relationship. Okay. So before we get into that, though, I do want to say, hey, my name is Rika. And radio, if you live in Washington State, Eastern Washington, is probably the reason why you know me. I started at Howard University in radio, and that's been part of my life for like over 18 years. And for the last 7 years, actually 8 years now, I've been the lead host of a morning show on a station here, and it was the Just Me Rika show, which I stepped down in September, okay? Because I wanted to fulfill the purpose that I feel God is calling me to do, which is help you, okay? So being a woman in radio with my name stamped so heavily on radio is kind of a big deal because unfortunately you won't find many women or many Black women leading radio stations or leading morning shows on the radio. So again, I told you from the years 2015 to 2017, I lost my mind and I was in this dysfunctional, emotional, abusive relationship. And after I got out of that relationship, this is actually a picture of me in Mexico by myself. I went on a solo trip December of 2017, and I went on a whole healing journey. And then after that, I began to share my trials and tribulations about my journey with relationships and men and being single. I started sharing in 2018, and the shame I had about my abusive ex and the embarrassment I had about my $10,000 boyfriend, I got over that to encourage you. Okay. Because I want you to understand that what I'm saying comes from my heart. And this is what I needed to hear basically since birth. We all needed to hear this, right? Because I asked you earlier, had anybody had a conversation with you about what makes a healthy relationship versus an unhealthy relationship? And I bet you most of you can say no. 99.9% of the women I asked that, they say no. So again, I'm a certified NLP life coach. So I'm not just talking out the seat of my pants. I actually went and got certified, and I have so many certifications in the area of self-love, self-actualizing, boundaries, and of course, relationships. Okay. So I'm the founder of Single You Academy, which is my online group coaching program, and Single You, the podcast. All right. So now back to you. It's enough of me. I just wanted you to know who I was. Okay. Now back to you. Since nobody had a conversation with you about what makes a healthy relationship versus an unhealthy relationship, that is one of the reasons why you're in this cycle of dysfunction. You are paying attention to what society is showing you, what your parents showed you or didn't show you, whether subconsciously or unconsciously, what people said to you or didn't say to you. For me, it was a lot of didn't say. Conversations were not had. I may have saw a healthy relationship. Shout out to my parents, they're still married to this day, but there was something missing. So boundaries with men weren't very clear to me. How to have a healthy relationship was not clear to me. There was a lot of holes in that. And so I'm maneuvering through life as a woman thinking, oh, well, I'm supposed to get married and have kids. So the first time my vagina gives me the butterflies, that means he's the one, which is not true. Your vagina doesn't actually know if he's the one or not, sis. He doesn't. Okay. So I want you to imagine this. Do you know who this is? The picture that I have on the screen on Facebook, on Instagram, you won't be able to see it, but she says this about her singleness. And mind you, this woman, Tracy Ellis Ross, is in her 50s, and I love her. She is my muse. I freaking love her. She says, quote, I am happily single, though that doesn't mean I am not open to and don't want a relationship, but in my wonderful and robust experience of being single, I have learned to have a productive relationship with loneliness and an intensely juicy relationship with my joyful solitude. I really enjoy my own company. How many of you can say that? I certainly couldn't. When I was younger, I thought, oh, I have to be married. I can't be single. That's like being, what do they call single women nowadays? The bad names they call us for being single. Especially me. I don't have any kids. So, oh my God, it's like I'm a leper in this society. But I'm finally arrived where Tracy Ellis Ross is. Because let me tell you something. Here's a hard truth. You should be okay alone. You should be. In fact, you should be before you try to get into a relationship. But here's what we do: we skip right on over self love and self actualization and knowing what we want. We skip right over that, right out of high school. And then we skip to marriage and trying to have kids and trying to have a relationship. We just skip the whole process of getting to know who you are and what you want and what is healthy versus unhealthy. But I want you to arrive at this place. And if you don't know where to start, stick with me and I can help you start as a certified NLP life coach. Okay. So let's talk about what makes a healthy relationship versus an unhealthy relationship. Since nobody had the conversation with you, I will. Okay. So we're going to start with this knowledge. Remember, I told you I'm going to give you 3 tips on how to know if he's lying to you. Okay. So tip number 3, we're going to go 3, 2, 1. Hesitation is a language. Hesitation is a language. What do I mean by that? You ask him a question, he hesitates. His phone is on the table. Maybe you pick it up for something and he's like, that's my phone. Give me my phone. You ask him, hey, who is that? So that's one of my sister's friends. Let me tell you about my $10,000 boyfriend. I'll give you the cliff notes. Okay. If you want to hear the full story, it is on my podcast, which is Single You the Podcast, which is available on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, more. All you have to do is search Single You the Podcast. But when we got together, okay, he was coming in hot. A lot of love bombing was happening, and I love yous, and I want to marry you, and this and that. And so I was like, okay, cool. So if we get married, what's your credit score? Because if we're going to have this serious relationship, and this was after I got out of my emotionally abusive relationship and had been healing myself for a year and a half, he comes back around because this is actually my college boyfriend. Talking about, oh, you were always the one, this and that. And so he was spewing all of this. And I would always ask him about his financial situation because I don't believe in dating when you're broke. That's just me. Whatever you do with your dating life is on you. But if it's not working, you may want to revisit. And he would never tell me. He would always be like, let me get it together first and then I'll tell you, or I'm embarrassed. And so I felt sorry for him and I let him lean on that. And, women, we feel sorry for guys. And I didn't want to be the girl who judged guys for not having their ish together. And I felt bad about that. And guess what? This baby decided he was going to move from DC to Seattle to quote unquote be with me. After all this hesitation about not wanting to tell me his financial situation. And then, of course, he told me he didn't have money to move. So what did I do in the in what I thought was love at the time? I gave him my credit card so he could move for me because how cute. How cute. He wants to move for me. They say that we should follow a man's actions. So I gave him my credit card. That baby racked it up $10,000 to move to Seattle. And then he broke up with me telling me that I had it two together. How you like them apples? Because the Bible talks about you will know my people by their fruit, right? And he had no fruits in the area of actually having his finances together. And that is actually important to me. So I should have paid attention to that, but I didn't. Because even though I was on this journey of healing, I slipped up and I started feeling bad and letting society dictate my emotions. And I started judging my emotions of, I don't know if this is right. And I didn't follow my God voice because society. And I didn't know any better. And listen, I'm going to say it right now. I'm going to call a spade a spade. I was stupid. But then it was after that relationship that I finally realized, oh, okay, I get it, God. I get it. I understand love. Tip number 2, this is how to spot a liar. His character. Again, you will know my people by his fruit. What is his character, baby girl? So see, what you're doing is you're dating, right? And your vagina is telling you, and you're having all of these butterflies, and you're like, oh my God, he could be the one. And then you're asking for God to alter him because you didn't wait for him to actually be the one. right? Because you don't understand character. You don't understand what Maya Angelou means by when people show you who they are, believe them. You that goes right over your head. And you just think, well, he's not hitting me. He's not on drugs. All right, I'll make it work. Mm-mm, mm-mm. If that's not the guy for you, God is not going to alter anything. He's going to let you swim in that mess. So when he's speaking in absolutes, I'll never hurt you, baby girl. I would never do that. I would never do this. I would never, 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 never. That's not somebody who understands life. My parents have hurt my feelings. Nobody can say I will never hurt you. That's a lie straight from the pit of hell. And that's somebody trying to get over on you so they could just be with you, especially to have sex with you. Guys will say anything that they need to say to get to the goal. If it's a guy of bad character, let me not say it's all guys. I don't speak in absolutes. It's not all guys, but it's the guys you're dealing with. He doesn't respect your boundaries. You say, well, I don't want to do this yet. He's like, oh, baby, I just, but I love you. And I da 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 da. And you fall for it. Or he gets angry at whatever boundary you're trying to set. Is he quick to anger? Like my emotionally abusive ex. Man, when I tell you a leaf would fall off the tree and he'd be like, oh my God, leaves, I hate them. Quick to anger. Again, the Bible says you will know my people by their fruit. And one of the things the Bible talks about is being slow to anger, not quick to anger. So your dude, is he slow or quick to anger? I mean, I just have questions. Okay. So I want you to meet Carla. This is one of my former clients, and this is a conversation that I had with her when I first met her, and we were kind of having the discussion if her and I would be good as coach and client, right? She says, yo, I date the same type of men because like you said, Rika, it's like I'm happy that they just chose me. So it's like, oh, you chose me. Okay, so I'm going to sacrifice what I know I don't want just because you chose me. My last boyfriend, we were together for 7 years. And we did well together for a while, or so I thought, but he never wanted the commitment and never saw it. He kept stringing me along. I feel like I do all of these things. I am this good woman, and so why not me? Does that resonate with you? And so here's one of the things that I told her. I said, how could this relationship have gone well for 7 years if he never wanted the commitment that you wanted? How could it be? No, that means you were adapting to him because God forbid you show up single at the next family barbecue. This is how you get in these situations because your mindset on love and singleness, the way you think about that is so negative and so different. And so anyway, we decided that we would be good as coach and client, and I coached her. I coached her up, as they say. And this is her now. I was able to stick up for myself after a man tried to put me on timeout like I was a kid. I was very blunt and very clear, and I've never been that person. Before Single You Academy, I used to not want to get a man too upset because I still wanted him to be around. Raise your hand if you have been scared to get him too upset. That guy you dating right now, who's coming up? Well, I can't say nothing. You walking on eggshells. You trying to navigate drama because you can't get him too upset. And if you do, you're afraid he'll leave you because God forbid you show up single. So anyway, she goes on to say, it felt so good, Rika. I sent him that text message and I read it like 1,000 times. And I was like, I can't believe I did that because I always hold on. In the past, I know what I felt, but I just didn't want to be in the wrong or for him to walk. But this time I decided, okay, well, I'll just take the loss. I'll take the L. I'm not taking it anymore from men. I'm worth so much more. And I told him, I said, I don't have time for your foolishness, period. I valued myself and it feels so good. Because here's the thing, you think, because you're a professional woman, right? You got your life together. You probably own your house, you paying your mortgage, you pay your bills on time, you doing all good. And you think I'm this independent woman and I'm worthy and I'm this and I'm that and I'm bossing and I'm a boss chick and da 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 da. Let me ask you something. What are you bossing if you're letting this man walk all over you? Who are you bossing? Got this professional life together on paper. I look amazing. But in my love life, this guy, I'm constantly minimizing myself for him. I'm constantly walking on eggshells. He disrespects me. He doesn't respect my boundaries. I try to set a boundary and he walks all over me. So what are you bossing? Hard truth, ain't it? Okay. So this is, hold on. Okay. So this is how, hold on. Let me make sure. I know I'm on. I want to make sure I'm sharing. I'm like, what is this slide? Let's see. Oh, shoot. Did I? Oh, okay. So I need to. Okay. I got it. Sorry, my slides were they were out of order. That's why I was like, I don't think I'm supposed to be there yet. So let me share my screen again. Okay, can you resonate with this scenario? Okay. He's very hard to read, and I don't know how to act half the time. We are good for a minute, and then he needs space. Then when we then oh, I think I was supposed to say we're real good, but then he says he wants to figure out what type of relationship he wants. Then we sleep together, then he is sort of distant, but says he wants to continue whatever we're doing. Of course he does, because you're giving it to him. He's just a very busy man. I just don't want to get hurt or led on. I don't want to push him. Also, I don't want to waste my time or give myself to someone for nothing. I'm lost and don't know where to go from here. Too late. Too late. You're already wasting your time because you're in and out of this cycle of dysfunction. Can you hear me on Facebook? I'm reading a comment that says it's hard to hear you. So let me know if you can hear me. I put the mic a little closer to my mouth, so I just want to make sure you can hear me. But in this scenario, you say, well, I just don't want to get hurt or led on. Too late. Of course he wants to sleep with you. You're allowing it. I did an episode on my podcast, Single You the Podcast, talking about, are you teaching him how to disrespect you? This is it. This is how you teach people to disrespect you. You see, again, you don't understand the saying, you show people how to treat you. This is how you do it. So you're in this cycle of dysfunction because of you. Life is about choices, baby girl. And you got to stop thinking, well, he needs to change and why can't he and this and that. Nope. You need to start asking yourself, why would I allow myself to put up with this BS? Why? So let me ask you this, okay? Let's talk about your relationship history. Would you describe your relationship history as A, toxic, B, dysfunctional, C, abusive, or D, all of the above? Type it in the chat. What is this cycle that you're in? What is this history of relationships that you're in? Describe it. Because I guarantee you don't think it's abusive because, well, he's not hitting me. That's what I thought. So you don't know anything about trauma bonding, emotional abuse, none of that. And again, no judgment. I understand why. We talked about that earlier. Nobody had the conversation with you about what makes a healthy relationship versus unhealthy. And this is 3 reasons why you keep falling for those lies. That's the big overall umbrella because nobody had the conversation with you. And actually, I'm going to give you 5. I forgot to change the number on the slide. Number 5, you believe you're a good woman and you deserve a good man and you are trying to make it him. Well, I'm a good woman, so he should just da 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 da. Okay, well, you don't get to decide that for him. He don't care. Why do you continue to think that men will change for you? You are not God. You are not powerful, sis. I'm sorry, you're not enough to change other people. You're powerful enough to change yourself, but not other people. So what are we doing? Why do you think that he will change for you? Who are you? That's not your power. Yes, you're a good woman. And yes, you deserve a good man, but it ain't going to be from him. And that's why you ain't getting your good man because you stuck in this cycle with him. Number 4, you get too excited when a man hits on you. You like to be picked. And you be excited about the small things like, oh my God, he called me back. Oh my God, he texts me. Oh my God, he says he loves me. Girl, that's the bare minimum. Why are we celebrating that? Yes, he called you. Okay. Stop getting so excited. You need patience, baby. Patience. So you can fruit inspect, so you can data collect. That's what dating should be, data collection. Not, well, my vagina is, she's acting up, so I guess I should be with him. These butterflies, man, I just, that don't mean he the one. Ain't got nothing to do with him being the one. Reason number three, why you keep falling for these lies with men. Oh, you fall for potential. Oh, the old falling for potential. Well, he could be this. If he's not that, I would argue you probably shouldn't date him. He's not going to change for you. How many of you have fallen for a potential? Raise your hand in the chat or type me. Reason number 2, you fall for liars. You're terrified of being single. God forbid you be single. God forbid. That's the worst thing you could be as a woman. Oh my God. And I know the pressure comes from society, comes from your family. Do you know how many times I've shown up at my family barbecues? So where your husband at, Rika? You gonna have some kids? Where because that's the only thing low vibrational people know to talk about. They don't do that no more because I've been doing this work and been coaching clients since 2018. My family doesn't do that anymore, but I know yours does. And reason number 1, you don't know who you are or how to get what you want. Who are you, sis? So are you this woman who continues to be treated like trash by men? Is that you? What is your track record of relationships showing to you? Here's the good news. If it is you, you can change it. Here's the bad news. You have to make the choice, and sometimes it's hard. But I'll tell you what, it's harder to stay in this cycle. Pick the path that is you. Okay, which one of these statements is true for you? A, I think love is doing everything he asks so I can prove my love to him. So I'll adapt and do whatever he says. B, you pay all your bills and you date men who never pay theirs or really don't have any. That's supposed to be really right there. C, you have poor judgment, poor discernment when it comes to men. Or D, all of the above. Look at your track record with men. Poor judgment, poor discernment. Look at your track record. Be honest with yourself. Look in the mirror, honey. I'm not here to sugarcoat anything. I'm here as your homegirl in your head, as big sister if I'm older than you. I'm 38, and I'm not here to sugarcoat anything. Life is about choices. Okay. So here's another client of mine. Before Single You Academy, when guys would hit on me, I would just go for it. I would say, oh, yeah, we can meet up and whatever, and let's go to Starbucks. You can come pick me up. Just because the guys were like, oh, I want to visit with you or something, without even knowing who that person was. That has never worked out for me and has put me in bad situations. But now I put up boundaries, and just having those boundaries has been working well for me. Rika, that's me, has helped me a lot. If it wasn't for her, I would be where I was in the past, not knowing my worth. Patience, baby. And so in the beginning, before she met me again, she was going off, well, I'm getting butterflies. My vagina's doing something. So he the one. Oh my God, he's cute. Oh my God, he picked me. Oh my God, I must get married. So let me just date him. And as she said, that never worked out for her. So raise your hand if it's never working out for you. You don't have patience, baby. You don't know how to set boundaries. And maybe you set them, but you don't keep them. How good are you at setting boundaries with men? A, I'm great at setting boundaries. B, average. C, terrible. I'm going to ask you again. How good are you at setting boundaries with men? A, B, or C? A is great. B is average. C is terrible. Type it in the chat. A, B, or C. And be honest with yourself. Look back at your track record. I don't want to see, you think you know your worth. All my clients do, but then they come talking to me and they're like, dang, I didn't even know my worth, man. You think you know your worth because you're like, well, I'm this and I'm that, and I got my life together, and I pay my mortgage, and I pay my bills, and I got this good job, and on paper, I'm great. I know my worth. But I would argue if you letting a man walk all over, I would argue if you letting a man walk all over you, no, you don't. You don't know your worth then, because it is in your boundaries that you show yourself you love yourself. You got to be honest with you. You have to be honest with you. So if you're in this cycle of dysfunction with men, That means you are terrible at setting boundaries. So here's my question, right? So if this is resonating with you, you've been watching me for the past 40 minutes in this masterclass, which is dodging the dysfunctional relationships or how to dodge dysfunctional relationships. I want to ask you now, how have you been navigating dating? Since nobody, we had, I asked you earlier, who had a conversation with you about what makes a healthy relationship versus unhealthy? You said nobody. So how have you been navigating dating? A, stab in the dark. B, knowledge and intention. Or C, both. And let me tell you what knowledge and intention means. You've actually studied relationships, knowledge of relationships. You know the difference between healthy hard versus dysfunctional. So if you don't know the difference, you don't have knowledge in dating, sweetheart. Knowledge of dating doesn't come from reality shows. It doesn't come from Cardi B and Offset. It doesn't come from Beyonce and Jay-Z. If you ain't read a book about relationships, you ain't sat down with mentors about relationships, you ain't had a coach about relationships, you do not have knowledge. Maybe intention, because this is what you do. You'll go into a relationship with a guy and then lay out what you want and how you want it to go and this and that and the third. And you think that's what you're supposed to do and you do that. And then the relationship still ends up trash. He still walks all over you. You still are walking on eggshells. You still are minimizing yourself. You know why? Yeah, because you can set a boundary. Well, this is what I want. You just don't know how to keep it because now all the feelings are getting involved and my vagina is telling me he's the one. So now I'm going to break all my rules for him. How well is that working out for you? Again, I'm not here to sugarcoat it. This is what I needed back in 2015 when I got with my emotionally abusive ex. This is what I needed, these conversations. So let me ask you this, okay? So you're taking a stab in the dark with these relationships. It's not working. It sucks. You want better for yourself. You don't want to be bitter. You actually do want to have a wonderful marriage or relationship at some point in your life. So let me ask you this. What if you took not being in a dysfunctional relationship seriously? What would happen? And what do I mean by seriously? So earlier I said, we get out of high school and we skip right on over to, self-love, self-actualization, self-understanding. We skip right over all of that into marriage and kids. We don't take relationships seriously. Relationships are more serious than society portrays them to be. Romantic shows, TV shows, comedies, especially if you're a millennial and you grew up on all these Disney movies, they just say, oh, well, he picks you and then you're happily ever after. Oh, well, you get the butterflies, your vagina gets a little wop and he's the one. And you think there's no work involved. You're just trying to cross off these like, okay, so I graduated from high school, so now I must get married. Now I must have kids. Now I must do this, da 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 da. You're not even thinking about, and again, partly not your fault, but now you can change it. We're in our 30s now and 40s. Typically, my clients are 30s and 40s. I'm 38. Now you got to start taking it seriously. What would happen if you took not being in a relationship, a dysfunctional relationship, seriously? What your wildest dreams? Don't you think you would actually get what you actually wanted? Because you know what you want, you just don't know how to get it. What would happen if you took learning yourself seriously? What would happen? So here's my 4 pillars that will keep you out of a dysfunctional relationship. This is the mindset you have to have. So I'm going to tell you what to do. And if you want to learn how to do it, then it looks like you and I would need to have a conversation about being you the client, me the coach. But I'm going to give you the mindset that I teach in Single You Academy that will keep you out of this cycle of dysfunction with men. The 4-step mindset I teach from. Are you ready to stop the cycle of dysfunctional relationships by learning how to set clear and hard boundaries through discovering who you are? Who are you, sis? Are you the girl who continues to get played by men? Are you that girl? Or do you want to be somebody else? So here's step 1. Know who you are. Do you actually know who you are? And this has to be deeper than your favorite color is blue. What are your triggers? What are you going to put up with and not put up with? What childhood traumas do you need to work through? Who are you? It's not, oh my God, I like long walks on the beach. Mm-mm. Who are you? Okay, so this is a client of mine, and she said, I wanted to find other Christian women to connect with. When I looked through your website, I saw that if I wanted to go from just cognitively knowing I deserve better to actively changing my behavior so I would be treated better, I reached out to you. I want to bridge the gap between reading affirmations and actually living them. Again, like I said, you think you know your worth. I'm this, I'm that. I pay my bills. I got a good job. On paper, I'm amazing. I'm INDEP, but you steady letting a man walk all over you. It's because you don't know how to bridge the gap between, okay, so I know he's treating me like crap and I know I should leave, but I don't. So that bridge is missing, right? Treating me like crap, knowing I should leave, and here's the bridge. And you don't leave. There's a difference between reading the affirmations, I know, versus doing. So if you want to actually change your behavior and you don't know how, I'm the coach for that. And I'm going to tell you how to reach out to me in a second if you're interested in Single You Academy. The doors do close August 1st, so this is time sensitive. I only have 3 spots left for my summer group. So anyway, I'm giving you the 4 pillars to help you dodge dysfunctional relationships. Number 1 was know who you are. Number 2, know what you want and how to get it. Here's what I mean by that. Oh, you know what you want. If I was like, do you want a healthy relationship or an unhealthy relationship? Of course you would say healthy. I want a guy who opens up to me and I want this loving relationship. I want to be honest with each other. I don't want him to cheat on me. I don't want da da da. But you don't know how to get it. You set those boundaries, but you don't keep them and you let him walk all over you. Again, that is why I would argue you don't know who you are. You don't know your worth. Because you are willing to disrespect yourself and constantly make poor decisions when it comes to your relationship just to be in a relationship. Because God forbid you show up at the next barbecue single. God forbid you have to Netflix and chill by yourself. Here's another graduate of mine out of Single You Academy. She said, Rika, he did it again. But this time when he decided to stop speaking to me, I didn't reach out. It's been about a month now that I haven't spoken to him. Not only have I been at peace, but I realized how stressful talking to him was because I didn't want to say or do anything wrong to make him mad at me. Now, with your videos and the reading that you assigned, I realized that he is not the guy for me. Again, you won't set that boundary even with yourself. So not only are you bad about setting boundaries with men, you're bad at setting boundaries with yourself. So you are stressed out because of a guy and you will not speak up because, oh my God, he will leave me. Make it make sense. Again, speaking from the heart, I love you. I was here. This is the conversation I needed. I'm not here to sugarcoat it. That's what your friends are there for. Oh, girl, you deserve the best. You got this. You da 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 da. Ask me how that's working for you, though. And we're going to talk about that coming up, too. The things that you have tried to stop this cycle of dysfunction, but it's not working. Make it make sense. Make it make sense. Here's another Single You Academy graduate. She goes on to say, and so Rika, so superficially, when a person hears Single You Academy, people were looking at me like, what, you paid for that? Why? I could have taught you that. These are her friends telling her when she signed up for me to be her coach, why would you pay for that? I could have taught you that. And she said, oh, no, you couldn't, because you weren't going to push me to the level of Single You Academy, by which literally doors started unlocking and helping me to have the strength to walk through. SYA is definitely helpful and it is worth every penny. It truly is. Because here's the thing, you want things to be easy and your friends think that they can teach you. But let me tell you something. If you wanted to be a doctor, would you ask your friends how to do it? Even if they were a doctor, you would still have to go to school for it. So if they are not actually your pastor, mentor, or coach, most likely your friends are not going to be able to help you to move the needle. They can be a support system. I have great best friends. But for you to move the needle to how this client is saying, which doors literally started unlocking, you're going to have to do better than advice from friends. Step 3, I want you to have the audacity to believe that you can get what it is you want. So after you know who you are and you know what you want and how to get it, you're going to have this audacity. You're going to have this muscle in you that's so strong that you are not going to bend or break or get weakened or worn down by men who are not for you. Because that's what happens. They wear you out. And you're just like, oh, I got to be in a relationship and I need somebody to lay with at night. I need a warm body. So I guess I'll stay with him. And you know why? It's because you truly don't believe that you can get the relationship you want. You haven't had great examples and nobody has the relationship you actually want. So you think it doesn't exist. I am telling you right now today, dream bigger. Dream bigger. You don't have to have a Cardi B Offset relationship. And I don't know these people, not throwing them under the bus, but I don't want a trap relationship. No, thank you. No, thanks. Good relationships actually exist, and you have to believe that you can get it and the patience to wait for it. All right, here's another client of mine. She says, I've gone on a couple of dates and have had about 6 guys texting me, and my friend said, Sarah, you have your choice. Choose one. I said, I did. I chose myself because at the end of the day, those guys are not the guys for me. They are looking for a piece of ass, and my ass is small. This is where her sarcasm came in. I can't share with them. This is for my husband, and until that happens, I'll continue choosing myself. She then hugged me and prayed that God will lead me in the path to meet my husband. Thank you so much, Rika. I probably would have given in at least one of them and gone back to square one. So this was one of my first clients back in early 2019. And she actually messaged me right around my birthday. She told me happy birthday on June 29th. And she was like, and I got something to tell you. She's in a whole full-on healthy ass relationship now because of Single You Academy. And she was like, if it wasn't for you, I would have been worn out, broken down, weakened. But I learned from you how to set and keep boundaries, and I waited. And the last thing is the patience to wait for it. Stop listening to your friends. Girl, just pick one. Dang. If you know he ain't for you, why are you doing that? You've settled before. You're settling now. How well is that working out for you? I just have questions. It's all love. So this is my cousin Shanice, who actually just got married, and she was on my podcast, Single You, the podcast, where she went from ghosted to it goes down in her DMs. Her husband actually slid into her DMs right after she got a horrible, terrible ghosting relationship. And she said her husband, Ja'Cory, made her realize how much I settled in the past. What I learned is the right person will make you realize that. We don't argue. We don't fuss. He lets me live my life, and he lives his life. And when I'm out with my girlfriends, I don't feel like, oh my God, I have to text him and check in. Women take for granted their freedom, and he so freely grants that. He cares about me. How many of you are with men who always want to know your whereabouts? Oh my God, I couldn't go to the bathroom without my emotionally abusive ex. I'm like, where you at? He always thought I was cheating, accusing me of cheating every 2 seconds. And I'll tell you this, here's the cliff notes. He was cheating on me the whole time. I didn't know that until after we broke up, but he was constantly accusing me of cheating. I had to cut off guy friends for him. Literally was on the phone with my homeboy Scott telling him I can't be friends with you anymore because my boyfriend, da, 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 da. And he would always say, well, if you loved me, you would do it. And I thought that was love, adapting to him. Oh, that means I love him, so let me, blah, blah, blah. Girl, I was so unhappy and miserable in that relationship. For why? That's not God's best for me. So thank God we finally broke up and I got my mind back, and here I am. But yeah, I was with a guy who's very controlling. Is this resonating with you? So let me ask you this. What is it costing you to hold on to all that pain from previous relationships? You're holding on to this bitterness. Well, he wouldn't change, and I'm never going to date again, or I hate men, or I hate him, but you're still with him. How does that make sense? Do you want to be the type of woman who believes all men are bad and this is the best you can get? You're just getting scraps of love. Yes, it is costing. You're miserable. Exactly. You don't want to be this woman, but you are because of what you've gone through, because you never understood what a healthy relationship was in the first place. And what is it costing you to continue to be in the revolving door of dysfunctional relationships? What is it costing you? What is it costing you? What is it costing you to never learn what a healthy relationship is? There's a lot of married people who say, oh, marriage is hard. What do they mean by that? The ones in the healthy relationships, because you got to be mindful of who you're listening to when it comes to marriage. Who are your mentors? Who are your coach? I firmly believe that you are not supposed to be listening to everybody. And I even know that I am not for everybody. I only have a certain amount of assignments that God has put on my life, and I am looking for them. Where are you, sis? I'm looking for my clients. And so that's why you have to reach out to me. I'm not for everybody. I'm not going to save every woman. And I'm definitely not going to save the woman who doesn't want to be saved. It's costing you your joy, your peace, your self-confidence, money. How much money and time do you be spending on guys? And the time is the worst because you can't get that back. So again, you're this professional woman who lets your loyalty to this man drain you. So you got your professional life together, but your love life, trash. You just dealing with this guy because God forbid you show up at the next barbecue single. All right, here's another client of mine. She said, in the little time that I've been here, I feel so supported in my single journey, embracing my singleness with confidence, embracing my pain and growing through it, embracing my budget and goals. Rika really allowed me to confront the traditional thoughts of our society around relationships and embrace me, the real me, that's not attached to a man or a ring. Don't you want that? Is this resonating with you? And so if it is, maybe right now you're like, listen, I want to work on me so I'll never be in a dysfunctional relationship again. Because I'm not against marriage. I want you to be married, boo. If that's what you desire, do you, boo? I just want it to be healthy. And I don't want you to be married because you think you have to. I just want you to be happy in a relationship, out of a relationship. But it starts with you being happy single first and going on a journey of discovering who you are and your worth. And so you want all that and you just have no idea where to start. You're going to start with me. Single You Academy is open. We're talking about that here in a few minutes, but I just want to see where you are. What life would you choose? A, I want to continue to be in dysfunctional relationships. That's what I call a weak mindset. What life would you choose? Would it be B, I want to never date again out of fear? I would call that a fearful mindset. Or C, I want to live my life truly happy, single, and date from a seat of truly knowing myself and my worth. Now, that is a strong mindset. Again, if you are letting a man walk all over you, if you are constantly minimizing yourself, if you are constantly walking on eggshells, doubting yourself in the relationship you're in now, you do not know your worth. I don't care what you say. Because it is in your boundaries that you show yourself you love yourself. You cannot say, I love myself, and then people are disrespecting you over and over again. You cannot say that. There's a difference between knowing and doing, and it is in the doing that you actually get the life that you want. Okay, I see some of you saying C. Great. If you chose C, then you're ready to work on you. Let's get you that strong mindset, okay? Introducing Single You Academy to you, the online course and community for the ambitious millennial single woman who wants better when it comes to the quality of her life and the quality of the man she dates. So, here's another client of mine. It's been extremely helpful just having the information and now understanding, like you said earlier, we don't know how to date. We don't know about relationships. A lot of times our parents don't tell us these things. It's not talked about. We try to emulate what we see. But sometimes it's bad behavior in the relationships that we are looking for, that we are looking at. Like, oh, it's okay. Well, we'll just have to deal with certain things. It's cool. I have a 20-year-old daughter, and I'm just constantly quoting things from Single You to her. So the generational curse, I cried when she told me this. Look what she says. The generational curse that was put in me as far as what I saw my parents do and thought was okay. She is going to be in a better place because we're already starting to talk about intentional dating. Like there's no time for what I did. I dated stupid and I didn't even know it was stupid. Listen, the Bible says my people perish from lack of knowledge. My mentor, so I have a coach, Pastor Darius Daniels, he says the area that you're ignorant in is the area that you will suffer in. So if you are ignorant in relationships and the difference between healthy and unhealthy, that's why you're suffering. And Single You Academy will give you that knowledge, first of self. Okay, so I have 3 pillars inside of Single You Academy. I call them modules. How to discover your worth comes with 4 lessons. Module 2, how to stop tying your identity to men, comes with 4 lessons. Module 3, how to stop being a man pleaser, comes with 4 lessons. You'll also have book assignments, and we'll also be on live as a group. I have 3 more spots left. You will also get a bonus, how to heal from hurt and trust men again. Because again, I don't want you bitter. I want you to get I want you to get the desires of your heart. But there's a certain way you got to live and act in order to get that. You cannot just follow your fleshly feelings. Oh, well, my vagina is telling me, so he's the one. Nope. I say this all the time. I need to put this on a t-shirt. Your vagina doesn't actually know if he's the one or not, sis. So I'm just saying. So again, I'm no different than you. I used to confuse taking care of a man you claim to love as being a good person. And if I didn't, I'd be a bad person. All I need was conversations and community and a strategy. That's what I needed. I didn't have back then. Do you have a strategy on how to know your worth, on how to set and keep a boundary when it comes to men? So I finally got out of the business in 2017 of fixing men, and truly in 2018. I got out of the business of fixing men and got into the business of learning, healing, fixing me. And now I want to guide you on your own journey. And yes, that's a picture of me. Okay. And you're going to get a bonus episode. This comes from my cousin Linnea. She's a minister, and she tells you what it's like to wait for sex and how hard it is. This is not purity culture. This is not, you can make your choice on if you're going to wait or not wait. But I'm going to tell you right now, how many men, let me say this. I don't believe that there's a woman out there who says, man, I wish I would have started having sex earlier. No, in fact, it's the opposite. You say, I wish I wouldn't have had sex with him or him or him. It wasn't worth it. It wasn't worth it. Raise your hand if you're like, it wasn't worth it. None of those dudes in my past was worth it. So we have those conversations because guess what? These are the taboo conversations that our church, our parents, especially if they're baby boomers, are not having with us. So I'll have them with you. So Single You Academy group coaching is open. And guess what? If you're not ready to make a 4-figure investment, I'm not the coach for you. Listen, you want things to be free and you don't want them to be hard. The only way that you are actually going to be transformed if you invest in yourself, you pick you and go on the hard journey. This is not an easy journey because I make you look at yourself in the mirror. This is not about tearing down men and what they did to you. Nope. This is about your choices and why. So I do offer a money back guarantee, but I'm only looking for serious action takers. So if you are not, don't slide into my DMs if you think this is going to be $250. Nope. I have to run a business and I feel like this is my purpose in life. So I have to charge a certain amount so I can keep going. But trust me, I got all the testimonials you want from my clients. And so you will have 14 days inside of Single You Academy. And if you do the work, you actually have to show proof that you did the work. You do the work and you come back to me and say, I'm not getting any change. This is not going to change me. I'll give you your money back. And yes, there are payment plans. So this is another client of mine. Hi, Rika. I'm doing the work and watching and rewatching the recordings. I have already felt like I have learned so much. The biggest takeaway so far for me, and this sounds so silly, but finding out it's okay to be alone and you can actually enjoy being single. Yeah. My mindset has always been, if you're alone, you're lonely. And I can't believe I thought that for 33 years. This is a mindset I will definitely pass on to my daughter. I changed her whole mindset. Be transformed by the renewing of your mind. For me, that's on my wall. It's like the biggest pillar that I have for my coaching program is I help you transform your mind around who you are, how you feel about being single, and how you feel about love. I'm going to help you define what love, because you and I see love differently. You see love as, oh, I got to do everything I can to show him I love him so he won't leave. I see love as I love me more, and I choose not to settle, and I will wait for God. All right. So let me see if you can relate to one of the following. I'll know I don't like something. However, I felt awkward about standing up. So this is about setting and keeping boundaries with men. I don't know if it's me or the men I date. Am I too picky? I don't believe in being too picky, but we can have that conversation inside of Single You Academy. I really just want to enjoy my singleness, but don't know how to. I've always been a relationship and I really need to help and I really need help enjoying myself. I promise you I can read, y'all. I can read. I have a hard time creating boundaries. It's like I get clueless or something. Mhm. Where are you? Can you relate to those statements? So here's the deal. Single You Academy is open. It is time sensitive. If you want to go on this journey of learning how to set and keep boundaries with men and yourself, if you want to go on this journey of discovering who you truly are, discovering your worth, then what I want you to do is send me a DM. All you have to do is DM me the word boundaries. And I'm not going to be like, why is she sending me the word boundaries? That's weird. No, obviously, I know what's happening. It's time sensitive, though. The doors close August 1st. So we need to start the conversation now. You do have to apply to Single You Academy. Again, I don't accept every woman. There's a certain type of woman and culture that I like to continue inside of Single You Academy, and you may not fit that, and that's okay. That's okay. So all you got to do is type either boundaries in the comments or send me a DM boundaries. And if you're still thinking about it, here's something my client said. Rika, you're helping everybody, and I can't wait to see the transformation in me. But honestly, I've been going to therapy, and therapy is not what is helping me. You've put stuff in front of me to help me go. You can do this. You're going to do this. Take responsibility for it. Your guidance and homework alone sparked something, and I know now I'm on the correct and right path. Because here's the thing. This is not to throw therapy under the bus. I will say most of my clients do have a therapist and me. But I am in this specific lane. And that's why what I do with you may work better than what you're doing with your therapist, right? So I am in this lane, and I want you to think about this. Who else is in your face wanting to teach you how to discover who you are? Who else is in your face wanting to teach you the difference between healthy hard versus dysfunctional versus abusive? Nobody. I went and got a whole certification and more to teach this to you. So Single You Academy is open. Go ahead and send me a DM if you are interested. The doors do close August 1st. Okay. The masterclass is pretty much over. I'm going to give you some more testimonials from clients. But I want you to think about this. You've tried. Your track record of being in relationships have been trash. You've tried willpower. You've tried advice from friends. You've tried good intentions, and you're still in this cycle of dysfunction. How are you going to get out and not be bitter? Because you can go ahead and say, you know what, I'm never dating again or whatever. I'm never and have this attitude, but that's not fun. But if you actually want help, I'm the coach for that. You came to me for a reason. You're on my platform for a reason. It's obviously you're struggling, and I'm offering help, a mindset that will pull you out of that struggle. So if you don't sign up for Single You Academy, how will you get out of that struggle? What is your plan? What's your strategy? Have one. I'm not saying you got to sign it with me. I just want you to have one. I'm praying for you, because that's not the life God intended for you. So again, you're a professional woman. You have your life together on this side. You pay your bills on time, your mortgage. You can travel. You got great friends. And yet your love life is trash. The area that we are ignorant in is the area that we will suffer in. That is what my mentor and coach, Darius Daniel, says all the time. So what is it about your track record that makes you believe you should trust you when it comes to relationship? Again, you've tried therapy, advice from friends, willpower, good intentions, and yet you're still struggling. Okay, I'm going to leave you with this. This is a client of mine. She actually just graduated. We completed our 12-week Single You Academy as a 12-week program. And she said, Single You Academy is the most intentional thing and kind experience that I have given myself, maybe ever, as an adult. It's interesting because in my work life, I get all of these different tools and we do different reflections, but it's like leadership, coaching, and all that stuff. But I have never done these kinds of reflections that you are doing with us in Single You Academy, or I've never even asked myself these difficult, uncomfortable questions that are extremely helpful. And I can see my confidence building. Plus, I'm applying it and feeling 10,000 times better about myself. All right. So that is it. Single You Academy is open. And so if you are interested in applying, you want to have that conversation. Don't forget that the doors close August 1st for this summer group, and I only have 3 spots left because I only usually do a group of 5 because it's a lot for me to coach. And all the emotions and stuff like that. So you will be joining 2 other women who have signed up. I'm looking for 3 more. If this resonated with you and you are ready to actually discover your worth, you are the frustrated professional, you're loyal to men, but you are tired, sick and tired of giving second chances. You are sick and tired of trusting he will change, and he never does. And you are ready to discover your worth. You are ready to learn how to set and keep boundaries with yourself and men. A faith-based way. Obviously, I believe in Jesus. If you're ready for that, you're ready to invest in yourself, go ahead and send me a DM now. All you got to do is just type boundaries and I'll take it from there. Because I know sometimes you may not know what to say, but I got you. Just send me a DM, boundaries, or you can type boundaries in the comments here, and I will send you a DM. Okay. All right. With that, I got to go eat. One of my friends is taking me out for my birthday, which is a month late, but I was gone for like 2 weeks. So whatever. Anyway, I hope to hear from you. Bye.